Yeah, like every now and then he would make a joke, and like he would make a joke at Matt's expense, and he's like, "Oh, I better not get too crazy, or I'll be out. They'll be hiring another weatherman or something like that." I was like, "You go out, Roker,
Well,
whatever."
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that used to be like really fat that's pretty skinny right now that looked better fat.
I don't know because a lot of people that have gotten that lap band surgery, look kind of bobbleheady now.
Yeah, let me
Dude,
say one
that's
more
a terrible thing to say.
I'm sorry.
I can't even believe you just said that. You look better fat. I can't even believe you said that.
Oh Lord.
Howsam coughed up his flax, whatever he's eating in the middle of that. Let me make one more comment about this because we're laughing about it. This may be a genius stroke on behalf of NBC. And by that I mean, I think a lot of maybe, dare I say, more newsies, if you will, people, not that, people who love to be updated on the news should be watching NBC, CBS, or ABC in the first place. But let's assume that there are a few still left out there that do. By all rights, Lester Holt, Black Lester Holt, and I put that descriptive in there for a purpose, been there forever. And by the way, still looks like he did, however long ago he started. Lester Holt is a pretty damn good, at least a reader of the news, right?
Yeah.
By all rights, seasoned, professional, well recognized, has for years done the weekend news, has filled in when William's been on vacation, the whole bit. He, in my mind, would be the guy. But here's the stroke of genius. They don't need to worry about the black vote. And I'm being cynical because you have to be that way. You have to look through that lens when you think about, or you try to understand the way the liberal media thinks. Dude, we have a black president. I mean, he's out of here. Who are we wanting to be in office next? Hillary. Hillary's not black.
Oh my gosh.
Hillary's a woman. I think this might be a stroke of frickin' genius, you guys.
Oh man. Savannah, I have a hard time seeing her as
You guys feel
as
fortunate
the
to be
newsreader,
on the show with someone that has such a depth of an analytical capability.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that my little groan really summarized everything we needed anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think this whole thing is
Yes.
hilarious. And to Jessica's point, I mean, not only with the Today Show, one of those Lifetime things, but I think the whole goings on behind the machinations at NBC right now, and they're even pointing to this woman that they brought over from England, whatever her name is. I read about that this morning. This thing, even after Lion Brian is gone, I think we may.
Okay, that's good.
I think we may find that there were at least a few muckety mucks at NBC that were complicit in minimally perpetuating his lies, maximally at helping develop them. I'm just saying. Remember, I said that.
Totally. I
Okay.
agree.
All right. Where are we going?
Okay, we have to play this clip, Melissa Harris Perry,
Oh my God.
the Megyn Kelly thing, man. Let me just check and see. IJR was supposed to put that up before we got on air, and I don't know if they've done that yet. But folks, this is one of the most. Actually, it's totally not surprising at all. But it is just you absolutely have to listen to this. Now it's Megyn Kelly commenting and reporting, and the setup was. I believe probably, Jessica, she is your favorite MSNB host, Melissa Paris Harry. Is that
She's definitely entertaining, I will say.
yeah, so she interviewed Eric Holder, which frankly, unfortunately, I was not able to watch live. I was just able to pick up the bits and pieces that Megyn Kelly showed. But go ahead and play the clip, Jess.
Tonight, outgoing Attorney General Eric Holder sitting down for an exclusive interview with MSNBC. And the interviewer was merciless.
You know, we call you the duck. in Nerdland?
The duck.
We call you the duck. So in Nerdland we say you have a very sort of placid and even way of presenting, but you are just working for justice underneath. Would you quack for us?
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but I like the analogy.
Oh my God, is it over? Is it over? It's over. Okay, there's Howie. Howard Kurtz is the host of Fox News' Media Buzz. It's terrible. So it's terrible.
That was the most cringe-inducing thing I have seen since Glozell Green was in the bathtub full of Fruit Loops before interviewing the president.
Here's the deal, House. I watched that. I watched her, Kelly, when she did this thing. She's hilarious, but in a watching a car crash kind of hilarity. And I know those don't go together, but I know no other way to describe it right now. If you watch Melissa Harris Perry doing this thing, it's creepy as hell. It's if and when she does working furiously or whatever she says, she's like flapping her arms like a duck and would you quack for us? Dude,
working for justice underneath. Working hard for justice underneath.
And she's flapping her arms like a duck. It's like she wanted to drop to her knees. And I don't mean that way. I mean,
wow. Well,
I mean, in terms of adoration of him, it was just you guys. It was really it bordered on creepy.
I just saw it now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jess. Go ahead.
No, I just saw it now, and it's like when you're at a club or something, you see a girl trying to flirt with a guy and failing terribly. That's what that looked like.
I mean, the message into that is she's sitting there doe-eyed, her head kind of cocked to the side, breathlessly saying, "I love you so much."
It was breathless. It was damn near she was almost sexually whispering to him, wasn't she?
We call you the duck because you're what's not flat. Was the word flaccid that she used? Yeah, that I saw that and I just couldn't even believe how amazing that is.
Of course, this is the same Melissa Harris Perry who told us several years ago that our children don't belong to us; they belong to the community. Now, setting aside the fact that our children belong, air quotes, to no one, but they belong to the community as a whole. Same Melissa Harris Perry, I think I put this up on IJR a couple of years back or whenever, who donned tampon earrings on air in support of, at the time in Texas, the movement against outlawing partial birth abortions. So she donned tampon earrings on air in support of them. So this is the same person, to put her in context.
Yeah, she is an amazing talent and woman. And here's the thing, man, is I don't actually get it. I mean, to be so, you know what it is? She is to a certain extent, we're both critical of Sean Hannity. She's kind of one of the Sean Hannitys of the left. I mean, I will say this. There have been times that I have seen Ed, what's his name? Ed
Schultz?
I've seen Ed Schultz and I've seen Rachel Maddow be critical of Dems.
Tingles too. Tingles as well.
Yes, I can't know that it may have happened, but it would, in my opinion, be just an anecdotal.
Yeah, I put several of them up on IJR, but again, to your point, go ahead.
Oh, it would just be, in my opinion, it would be an exception to prove the rule that Melissa Harris Perry never criticizes Democrats and the left. It's just, and this thing, God, it's so completely bizarre.
And here's where liberals. Did you guys hear my voice crack there? I'm 112 years old and my voice is still cracked. But here's where liberals don't get it, because when you have the adulation for Obama, as it has been, the one, Chicago Jesus, Second Coming, all that kind of stuff, that's been.
Wait, Chicago Jesus, that's a thing?
You never heard? Oh yeah, it was initially anyway, but the adulation of Obama, the cult personality, if you will. Democrats like to argue that people like you and I had the same thing for Ronald Reagan, which is completely ridiculous because it was not Ronald Reagan as a person. I never believed that Ronald Reagan could do no wrong. No one can do no wrong. What you and I admired and still admire about Ronald Reagan, in fact, that admiration continues to grow as we descend into further into hell, was what he stood for, was what his policies were, was his conviction. This is what Democrats, what liberals like Melissa Harris Perry will never get about the way she just even treated Eric My People Holder, dude.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yippers. So Jessica,
Yep.
you're kind of our de facto part-time guest today. We have to tell the folks before the bottom of the hour. Kira Davis was supposed to join us, our good friend, Michael's and my good friend. I guess it should be Michael and my good friend Kira Davis was supposed to join us today, and she had to cancel, Michael, because of a sick kid. And listen, I love Kira, but dude, how selfish of an excuse is that?
Oh, I'm extremely disappointed in her.
I mean, how many times do people have the opportunity to talk with you and I?
Well, our invitation is extended on an occasional basis, and the fact that it was, oh, you know what, my kid is sick,
I mean, how selfish.
whatever.
Yeah,
Back at end of the line. So we should announce that tomorrow we will have Twitter and internet rock star Super Mexican on.
I'm super excited about Super coming on. And by the way, of course, we're kidding about Kira. We love Kira to death. She will be here on Monday, and we hope that her child is well by then. So.
Yes,
Well,
definitely.
I don't know if I go that far.
Well, I just have to say that because if she doesn't come on Monday, dude, it's over.
You know what, Mike? I'm getting a little racism off you there. Just a little.
Well, you know what? I don't care if. Okay, God. But no, I mean we've already told her. You told her that the fee that we normally pay her through PayPal is automatically cut, and of course
Yes.
I added to that no autographed pictures. She says we're hard guys, but I'm thinking she doesn't want to risk it beyond Monday because of the hell that she might have to pay if she does a double no show. So I think it's pretty much in the bank that she will show up on Monday and not use another lame excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, just you and I. And you know how hard it is for Miller and Housen to fill time. So
Yeah. So, by the way, I caught yesterday afternoon when I had to take off. I caught the end a bit of the
with Patty,
interview and discussion with Patty Newman. And folks, if you didn't listen to that yesterday, go to the website, which is therightmics.us, and catch it.
safe to say that Patty knows her crap when it comes to Obamacare, huh?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And Bob was a good guest too. You know, I was, and I love Bob. I mean, we got to have him back on for sure. But when people start to get out there on that, Jessica, you already know where I'm going on that kind of conspiracy thing, you know, or in his case where he thought Obama was going to do his best to try to hang on beyond. I just can't go there, you know.
You know what, man? When he started mentioning that, I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not going to work on this show. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just don't go there, man. Seriously.
And we all know people who do, which makes it even more fun. I just can't. I can't. I mean, you know what? On the flip side, we're under a minute here, but it's almost like the folks and the folks I'm about to describe quickly are diminished by the nut jobs on the right who do go there. I'm not calling Bob one, but we all know them. The guys on, you know, who want to focus on Obama's birth certificate or on Obama, you know, being a Kenyan or being a Muslim or whatever have you. There's so much material stacked up against Obama. We need not go to the silly stuff.
No, not at all. I mean, there's so. I mean, we've said this many times. There's so much stuff to talk about that's legitimate. You know,
Yeah, and speaking of stuff to talk about, we are done. We talked about a lot. We've got a heck of a lot more to talk about. This is The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. We're out of here for the break. We'll be right back. Hope you are too.